Hi, I'm Chuck. I'm with Arvada Rent-Alls, and today we're going to do a video on how to blow out your sprinkler system for the winter season. Now, this is where you're going to start. This is a vacuum breaker or a backflow preventer, and we're going to use this to blow the system out. A sprinkler system is comprised of two halves. There's the side that goes off to the sprinkler system from here, and then the side that the fresh water, the tap water, is coming into from the basement. So the first thing we want to do is go downstairs and shut the main water supply off that supplies water to the sprinkler. Okay, we're in the basement now, and we are at the main line coming into the house. This branches off to the sprinkler line, and I am simply going to shut that off. At this point, it's perpendicular to the line, which means it's shut off. Okay, the next step that we're back outside, this is the line going down to the basement. I'm going to shut that off. Oops. Again, perpendicular to the line. And we're going to shut off, make sure these are shut off as well. Now, when we start blowing out the system, I'm going to turn this on, but we'll get to that in just a second. Okay, so we've got the valves closed. Now I'm going to take this quick connect and connect it to the adapter on this. Now I've already purchased the adapter at a hardware store, and I permanently leave it on there so I don't have to go hunting for it every year. So the quick connect stays on there. I connect it to one of the quick connects or test ports on the vacuum breaker, and we're ready for the next step. Okay, so I've connected the other end of that hose to the compressor. And now we've got two gauges we can look at here. This is the input gauge. It shows the total pressure in the tanks of the air compressor at about 135 pounds. That's where it shuts itself off. The output pressure is what runs through the hose and into your sprinkler system. You want to make sure that you're not above 70 pounds of pressure. 60 to 70 is considered normal, and if when you get a compressor and start to do this job, and this is at 100 or 120 pounds, you can adjust it downward with this control here. You pull up on it and turn it back until you see the gauge go down to 70 pounds of pressure. Okay, now we're back in the garage now, and this controls which zone we're going to blow out. So I'm going to move this to zone 1, and this is a Rainbird SST 600. It's a very simple machine to use. I'm going to hit water 1 zone now. So it's going to give me 10 minutes of watering time or open solenoid time on zone 1. Okay, we're back out at the backflow preventer. I'm going to turn the sprinkler line control on, and then I'm going to take this screwdriver, turn it parallel to the hose. You heard the zone, you heard the backflow preventer diaphragm pop up, and you see the air coming out of the line. When your output gauge gets below 40 pounds of pressure, you're going to want to shut the flow of water off. If it gets too low, you'll lose pressure on the diaphragm in the vacuum breaker, and you're going to have to repressurize that part of the system. Okay, the output gauge on the compressor is back up to 70 pounds. So I'm going to turn the zone on again. I used this side right here. Turn it on, the pressure valve pops up, and now we're blowing mostly mist. Shut that off when it's just mist. And you see we're still at about 60, 70 pounds of pressure in the output. Okay, so we're back to the compressor now. We've surged the system on and off, running this up to 70 psi and then back down to 30 or 40 pounds, so as not to drop the diaphragm in the vacuum breaker. So we've surged that 2 or 3 times to get the water all out of zone 1, or each zone I should say. So we're going to go from 40 pounds back up to 70, let it recharge, open the valve and purge it out. You know you're done when you've got nothing but mist coming out of the heads. You don't want water coming out like you're sprinkling the lawn. You want just a mist like what you saw in the video. You're never going to get all the water out of that, those lines, and that's normal. But you don't want a steady stream of water. Okay, we're back to the vacuum breaker. We're done blowing all the zones out. I'm going to shut that from the air hose off, disconnect my hose, and I'm going to leave this off, which is over to the zones, and now I'm going to turn the line to the system on. This is the fresh water system to the basement. Okay, we're back down in the basement. My sprinkler line off of the main supply is off. Now there's a little cap on here that you're going to want to loosen. And have something ready. Okay, we've drained that system downstairs. We're going to shut this off now, leave the supply line to the sprinklers off, and we're going to turn all of these valves to a 45 degree angle. So that releases the pressure on the vacuum breaker. There is no pressurized systems at all. This is a reminder that you've shut it down for the winter, and it also leaves the ball valves only partially open, so insects and whatnot aren't so likely to get into your system. After this, you're going to shut off the control box in the garage, and you are winterized.